So for today, we're going to be trying out a interesting list that I saw on Twitter the other day from Twinless Twin. Snow Delver. Why is it called that? Well, because you're basically a modern Delver list. For those who don't know, Delver of Secrets. It's a 1/1, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, it flips into a 3/2 if you have an instant or sorcery on top. Is it instant sorcery or is it instant? Instant or sorcery. So as far as our creatures are concerned, we've got 4 Delvers, which are 1/1s that'll flip into 3/2s. We've got Sprite Dragons, which whenever we cast a non-creature spell are going to grow. And then we've got Ascendant Spirit, which is a new card from Kaldheim, which starts out as a 1/1, and then for 2 snow mana becomes a 2/3, and then for 3 snow mana can become a 4/4, and then for 4 snow mana you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and whenever you deal combat damage, you'll draw a card. So you've got 4 creatures that can effectively grow to kill your opponent. Well, 12 creatures total. And then other than that, you have some tempo plays and some digging effects. As far as what we've got 16 counter spells effectively. You don't have to use Archmage's Charm as a counter spell. It can be used as one, so I classify it as that, but it also helps you dig. It's draw 2 for 3 mana. Everything else is either a tempo spell like Remand, counter target spell, draw a card. It doesn't count their spell, puts it back into their hand, but it buys you a turn and will grow your Sprite Dragon. You have Deprive as a way to counter a spell if you need it. You've got Force of Negation because free counter spells especially are needed when Trickery is running rampant. And then you have Mana Leak and Spell Pierce just as good ways to make your opponent have to have more mana than they probably do when they're casting their spell. Magmatic Sinkhole is a good way to deal with a creature or a planeswalker because it deals 5 damage. And then you have Bolts to target their face or creatures, whatnot. And then Ops and Serum Visions to dig you a bit further. That's the rundown of the main board. As far as lands are concerned, we've just got Snow-Covered Islands, a Snow-Covered Mountain, a Singleton Steam Vents in case we need red or blue untapped right then and there, and then a Volatile Ford just because it's a snow land, so it'll be useful for our Ascendant Spirit, and sometimes we don't care about it entering tapped if we're fetching it on our opponent's instep. A 1 of Mystic Sanctuary here. We don't have Cryptic Command, so we're not really looking to do the Cryptic Lock. What we're really doing with this Mystic Sanctuary is to get us back, say, we need a counter spell, we'll get it back and we'll draw it, and then we'll be fine. And for the sideboard, what we've got going on is we've got Flusterstorm, in case we need more counter magic. Mystical Dispute, again, more counter magic for the blue matchups. Aether Gusts to deal with pesky red and green permanents. A Brazen Borrower as a way to bounce things, and then also a good creature, a 3/1 beater. Narset to help us dig a bit more, and makes it so our opponents can't draw more than 1 card. Abrades to deal with the artifacts or creature removal. Blood Moon's here. Blood Moon's such a fun card. As you can see, because we're mainly basics, Blood Moon works out pretty well. It'll help shut off our opponent's mana, and we won't be too restricted assuming we're fetching correctly. And we're going to not be showing too much, considering how most of the time we'll be fetching basics anyway. And then Grim Lavamancer, just as a way to either finish out the game by dealing 2 damage to them, 2 damage to a planeswalker, or 2 damage to a creature. That's the quick rundown of the list, and I'll see you guys in the matches. Let's see how we can do with it. Alright, match number 1. We won the die roll. Let's take the play here. And let's see what trouble we can find ourselves in. We've got 1 blue source, so mulligan. And we can keep this. We'll bottom... I guess it's bottom... Tarn. Opponent mulligan to 6 as well. Let's see if they can keep 6 or go further. They kept 6. We'll go Snow-Covered Island, Ascendant Spirit, pass the turn. Ink Moth Nexus, huh? So meaning we're probably looking at hammer. Let's go ahead and... So we drew a spirit. Let's put both of these on bottom. And swing for 1. Looks like we're facing infect here with that waterlogged grove. This is probably okay. Spell skite. That's not great for us. We will fetch, get a snow-covered island, and opt. Bottom that and draw. We draw a Delver. Okay. Land? Land would be a real good draw here. There we go. That Delver. And pass the turn. And can't really swing with the Ascendant, but this way we've got up Remand, or we can activate the Ascendant and grow it. They get themselves a basic forest Glistener Elf. Sure. Blighted Agent. This we will remand. Delver. We get to look at the top card of our library. We may reveal it. Serum Visions. I would love to reveal that card and flip our Delver. Rainforest. It's correct to Visions. Ooh, I like this card on top. Which is awkward. That's fine. We'll just bottom both. And get in for 3 here. When it goes down to 13, we'll have up 1 counter spell here. Breeding Pool. Do they shock it in? They do indeed. So the issue is I really don't like this card. Counter target spell, put that back into hand. And we still make it look like we've got Bolt in hand. Which, granted, they could redirect. They choose to attack. The 3 in hand, only 1 green, meaning at maximum this is 7. They can't become immense. This upkeep we draw Sprite Dragon. I kind of sort of like that card. So we'll play out the dragon. And we will swing for 3, hold back dragon, hold back Ascendant. If they want to, they can block with their Inkmoth Nexus. They do not. They go down to 8. We have a remand here to stop any of their scary spells. If they don't do any scary spells, we grow our Ascendant. Hierarch, sure. Well, looks like no scary spells. We'll take the Exalted. It's only 2. Alright, we go to 3 Infect. And pay Snow, becomes a 2/3. There we go. Land here's what we want. Lightning Bolt, huh? Interesting. So if we animate, no, not animate. If we do the 3 mana, it becomes a 4/4, and that is 8 in the air. They would have to animate to block. They could redirect, pump, possibly kill. But they'd have to pump on their turn. I like holding up remand and bolt. We'll just hit for 3 here. Opponent takes it, goes down to 5. We will pass the turn. They need to have it here, and we've got a remand and a bolt. Bolt doesn't do much. I guess we could have swung with the Sprite Dragon. Begins combat. Swings with the Glistener Elf. We're not gonna block. You need to have it here at instant speed. Groundswell. It's turn 6, so they haven't hit their land drop. Go ahead and try to bolt it. See if opponent wants to redirect. Okay, they redirect the bolt. That's fine. They go down to 3. I believe this is only 2, right? Turn 6. Yes, there's no landfall on this groundswell. Looks like an attempted becomements. Remand. And that should be concession. Because they are dead in the air. Unless they have another pump spell here. mutagenic. It gets +2/+2. Sure. When it's down to 1. And they can't use their land. So we go to 9. Cool. There we go. Onwards to sideboarding. So we're facing Infect as far as what's decent against them. Blusterstorm, Blood Moon. Blood Moon shuts them off of their mana hard. Force of Negation is good. Archmage Charm is difficult for us to cast here. Just because it's 3 mana. But I want as much counter magic as possible. Spell Pierce, Serum Visions is fine. Honestly, the Spirit seems a bit slow, so we'll shave 2 of those. We don't need too many threats here. They don't have flyers besides Inkmoth Nexus, so if we can land a Blood Moon, we'll have plenty of blockers. We need to shave 2. I think we'll shave 2 Charm. I kind of want these Abrades at the same time. I don't know. Just being able to deal with it is a good way. I mean, I guess Magmatic Sinkhole or not. But it's 5. I don't think we're ever getting that Delve online, though. So do that, bring this in and cut a Visions. Right now, like so. And see what we can do. Gust wouldn't be terrible because all of their pump spells are green. Sure. We've got a Force of Negation and cards to pitch to that. We've got a Delver, we've got a Sprite Dragon, we've got a Blood Moon. And looks to have just about everything we want. Waterlogged Grove, Glistener Elf. Sounds good. Second Blood Moon there is not so great. Blood Moon's not a card you want to see in multiples. Alright, let's see what we can do. I'll be willing to take it for now. It's only 1. Okie doke. And second elf. Alright. Look at the top card. Deprive. Sure, we'll take a Delver flip. And we'll hold. They can only do 1 spell. They kept a 1-lander here. So this Blood Moon, if we can land it on turn 3, is going to be real nice. Might of Old Krosa. How about no? I really don't like the idea of taking 6. They swing for 2. We'll go up to 3. Land off the top here. Blood Moon. Seal this game away. That is not a land. Okay. We'll hold back for now. If they don't go for pump. Ooh, no. They hit. Not only did they hit a land, they hit their basic. We'll block 1. see what they want to do. Paying costs. Dismembers. Remand that. Do you want to pay another 4? Opponent goes down to 5 to kill this Delver. Alright, opponent. And tell me more. Land off the top here? Land. Bolts. That's fine. Bolt and Delver. Opponent's down to 5. This way. It's awkward. If we see land, we kind of want to keep it. They go for the groundswell. That's fine. It's a 3/3. We'll go to 7. You're at 5. We'll go ahead and throw this in front. Land? Why? Why can't we find our land? Opt. Top. Do that. Play our land. We'll fetch down to 19. Get ourselves a snow-covered island. And play out a Sprite Dragon and pass the turn. They've got... Worst case scenario here would be scale up. But that's at sorcery speed anyway. Hierarch, pretty good for us. So this is basically they need to have 4. No blocks because they don't have 4 at instant speed. They would have to have mutagenic. This instep. Blood Moon's not so good anymore. Cluster Storm's decent. Let's opt and always yield the Sprite Dragon. A Braid. I like that card. Make them have it. If they have to use a pump spell to protect here, we're in a pretty good spot because they're down to 1. They only have 2 mana. They vines. That's fine. So they need 1 pump spell here. Hmm. 3 cards for 1 pump. I bet that they have it. But we can't afford to not swing at this point. We just, need to hit our 3rd land before turn 5. See that pump spell. Might have old Krosa. Alright. Our hand is not counter spells. I like what we did. I agree that we don't need the threats. Anything that we want in? I guess sinkhole? Sinkhole drop like, I guess drop another visions? No, drop an opt. Remand? Sure. That feels slightly wrong. I feel like we want as much counter magic as possible here, but we can't really just save for that. I would love to play first. And got 1 land visions. I don't like this. I love this, however. Can keep 6 of these. Bottom. I guess it's bottom visions. We don't have any counter magic here, but that's fine. This goes get snow-covered island, and then we go Delver. Then we go volatile forward tapped. They kept a basic forest. Good for opponent. Delver, let's see. Snow-covered island. We will not flip our Delver. Play this tapped. In combat 1. Opponent takes 1. They like their hierarch. Sadness. Windswept Heath. Second hierarch. Okay. And they're holding the Heath. There we go. Fetch for a breeding pool, shocks it in, and then blighted agent. Yep, so we now need a answer. Delver reveals Blood Moon. Not an instant or sorcery. Do this fetch. Get ourselves a snow-covered island. Red, blue, blue, Blood Moon. And we can't block it. So we'll swing and see if opponent wants to block. I'm assuming they don't. And we have to hope that they don't have anything here, because we don't have any of our counter magic. So if they have scale up plus pump spell, we lose. Groundswell, that is 5, 6, 7. Do they have another pump spell? That'll do it. Making sure they turn it sideways. All right, Infect got there. And that'll be 0-1 to start. Exalted triggers, we lose. How close were we? We would have flipped Delver. And we would have been able to play out Sprite Dragon. And, oh, we would have played out Sprite Dragon. Serum Visions had 1 mana open, which would have been able to cast the other Serum Visions. Yeah, we weren't gonna beat that. We didn't see any of our counter magic. Turn 3 Blood Moon, too slow against Infect. Alright, see you guys in match 2. Match number 2 here has been found. Okie doke. They won the die roll. Let's see how this happens. Okay, we can do. We've got counter magic in a decent tempo. And depending on how opponent mulligans, we will be. Okay. Scalding Tarn does not tell us much here. Ascendant Spirit. All right. Opponent fetches. Cool. We're facing probably 4-color pile. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. Could be a Niv Delight list. Watergrave makes me think Niv Delight. Exile SSG. Oh my gosh, are we just gonna go off on turn 2? Is this happening? No. Okay. It's Teferi. Teferi happens, and what? We down tick bounce this. Cool. Opponent, that was the wrong choice, bud. This fetch, get ourselves a basic mountain. Snow covered mountain. Sprite Drago. Get rid of Teferi. I need to be able to play at instant speed. Breeding Pool shucked in, I'm assuming, and Uro. And so this is probably a Niv list. Ardent cascades into Valky. Okay. So this is the control Valky list, and then we have a Tybalt, and we're not beating that. That's great. All right. Control Valky list. Exiles our Sprite Dragon. Bolt off the top, please, one time. That's what we're hoping for. Well, it's not a bolt, but it does at least make Tybalt not so great. Spirit. Dragon. Combat at Tybalt. Opponent or Tybalt goes down to 1, so we're not too afraid. Exiles Delver of Secrets and a Teferi. How nice for them. So they play Teferi, they bounce our Spirit. Ardent Plea cascades into Tybalt, so that way they get to reset Tybalt. Yep. Well, we get to see. Guess I went over here. So it is just the 5-color control Valky list. Fun. They do that. They keep the new Tybalt, and then they uptick again after this resolves. Oh, they just exile. Okay. Why? Do we have a way to kill the spirit? We've got a way to kill the spirit. Oh, no, they just have the Delver. Which we can't stop, but we can take it. However, we don't have the snow to be able to take it and kill Tybalt, which is sadness. Just do that. Let's go ahead and Gain control of target non-land permanent with CMC 1 or less. I'll take my guy back. And we'll hit Tybalt for 1. We've got Bolt Up, and we've got Force. One's got Sprite Dragons from us or Teferi from them. Looks like Sprite Dragon's going to be their route. Alright, they've got some X1s for blocking. Exile the top card of each library, a Force of Negation, and an Ardent Plea. Alright. Mystic Sanctuary, can't put anything back. And doesn't go a swinging. Delver will look. Yeah, we'll reveal a Lightning Bolt. I mean, let's just go ahead and bolt Tybalt. Do you have the Force of Negation? Because I'll have the Mana Leak. What'd they exile? A Cryptic? Neat. So they lose their Tybalt. They've got 1 left in deck. The problem is they get to go grab that. We'll swing for 3. I mean, this is a pretty safe block with a Sprite Dragon, and then you have a Sprite Dragon with the Ardent Plea. So they play out their last Ardent Plea here. Oh, they go for a Teferi line. Well, I can't really let that card resolve. So they have the Ardent Plea next turn. Unless they have a land drop here. We're staring down 6 or 5. Okay, only 5. It's fine. Land drop is somewhat awkward for us. Go ahead and try to make it a 2/3. Fetch here, make it a 4/4. Swing all. Okay, so those will die in trade, and then Ardent Plea hits Tybalt, and we dealt with 2 of them, but we can't deal with the 3rd. Meaning we'll be moving on to game 2 here, assuming that they can cast this Ardent Plea from exile. Because they do that, they go their Sprite Dragon by 2 and hit us for 8. Oh, they drew the Valky. How awkward for them. Archmage's Charm, huh? Gain control of CMC 1 or less. Encounter or draw. Oh, ugh. So if we swing, they have to... If we swing, this is what? 5 on the crackback? Possibly 6 or 7? They go ahead and throw the Sprite Dragon in front. We're fine with that. And we pass the turn. Because we can put a counter on it at the end step, or counter whatever they're doing here. So this Ardent Plea does nothing, unless they have a 4th Valky. Omnath, Locus of Creation. That would allow them to gain life here. Let's go ahead and counter that spell. Don't like the thought of them gaining life. The Valky hits us for 4. We go down to 7. One's got 1 in hand. So that's a dead as hell draw. Put 2. It's put 2. Put 2 counters on it. Do you have the push? All right. Did not have push. Well, they can't have push because they're cascading into Valky. At least that's their game plan. So we lucked out that they drew Valky 3 there. I'm assuming that they only ran 3, considering how deep that they dug to try to find. Blood Moon. Seems like a pretty good card in this matchup. They're the control version. So Dispute and those don't seem terrible. Brazen Bar seems pretty good here. Just as way too petty theft. Bolts seem meh. Their creatures tend to live past the bolt. Ours don't. But theirs do. Take out a bolt and we're gonna be on the draw, so probably a charm. Yeah, I like it. Let's see how we can do against this control Valky style. We've got a good amount of blue. I like it from the aspect of just the Force of Negation. Seems like a very strong card in the opener. The second Force, pretty great. Misty Pass. This will allow us to fetch, get our snow-covered island. We really want to see a Blood Moon real quick here. Hopefully these Force of Negations will be enough. Alright, Misty. They hold. I like that. This, get ourselves a snow-covered island. Opt. Bottom, we don't need the snow-covered mountain. Okay. We'll go ahead and shock in here and go red, blue, Sprite Dragon, combat 1. This way we have up double force. Unless opponent has remand or mana leak. Okay, they're getting a triome. Get in for one, pass the turn. And Ardent Plea or Teferi. Ardent Plea sounds good. Cascade into Celestial Purge. I mean, I don't want to use a Force of Negation on this, but at the same time, it's just a decent enough tempo play here. Because it also grows our dragon. This Archmage's Charm, that's a good one. Swing for 2. One goes down to 15. Now I've got up Force 2 and Archmage's Charm. We go in Ardent Plea number 2. Uro. Sure. Not too worried about an Uro. They play a Flooded Strand. Uro dies. And play out their second Flooded Strand. That's fun. In step, target player draws 2. Neat. We're drawing lots of land. Okay. Let's opt. I just want to see what we're drawing at this point. A remand. Sure, we'll put that on top. Swing for 4. Opponent fetches twice, I'm assuming here, to set up. Okay. And so they need what? Black for Bring to Light? Didn't get black, so they don't have 5 for Bring to Light if they were running that card. A Violent Outburst cascades into Celestial Purge. Oh, they've got one target. Cast Force of Negation. And there goes their Celestial Purge, and their creatures get +1/+0. Good for their creatures. And Ardent Plea. Oh, no. Neat. So problem is they have Uro here. Let's play out Delver. And play out a land. In combat, swing for 5. One goes down to 7. And we pass the turn. Oh, this will be nice. We'll have a fetch for Sanctuary, put a Archmage's Charm back on top, or a Force. We don't have another blue source. So this will be green, green, blue, blue, Uro. No, that's 5. Yep, you do not have black to cast your Valky from hand. And they exile their graveyard to cast the arrow. Fetch. Grab ourselves some Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary, put Archmage Charm back on top. That'll happen. Remand. Cool. You can replay the arrow from hand. Neat. You get to draw a card and not be dead. Delver shows us Archmage Charm. Sure, we'll reveal that card. How neat. We have 2 Archmage's Charms. This fetch. Cool. And there we go. Taking down Control Valky. So we'd obviously cast Archmage Charm, draw 2, and then hold up counter magic because we'd have 3 mana for an Archmage's Charm. We would have drawn, well, we wouldn't have drawn those cards, but anyway, there we go. See you guys in match number 3. All right, we found match number 3 here, and we won the die roll. We'll take the play. We've got a Force and a Spirit and a Remand. Sure. Let's see how we can do. Opponent mulligans to 6. All right, opponent kept 6. We'll lead off with Snow-Covered Island, Ascendant Spirit, pass the turn. A Misty Rainforest for opponent. Interesting. Do we play the Delver? I don't think so. I think I'd rather hold up Remand plus Force of Negation. Opponent cracks their Misty, gets probably a Triumph of some kind. Breeding Pool. Shocked in. Okay. Opt. They went bottom and drew. A Scalding Tarn for our opponent. Neats, we'll do this. Grab ourselves our Snow-Covered Mountain. And turn our 1/1 into a 2/3. Now we'll go this, play out Delver. Combat, swing for 2. Opponent goes down to 13 for their Scalding Tarn here. Breeding Pool. Tapped. Okay. Interesting, they got double Breeding Pool. Could just be blue-green. Burrow. I'm enough of a fan of going for this tempo play. Just to slow him down a bit. We see Archmage's Charm. Sure, we'll draw that card. And we'll show them that we drew that card. This, play out Delver. In combat, swing for 5. Opponent goes down to 8. Sure. Aro gets to resolve this time. They gain 3, go to 11, and then they get to put a land into play. Steam Vent's tapped. And a Scalding Tarn. Ultra. When it goes down to 10. And bolts our spirit. And bolts the Delver. Actually, undo. We'll just force that using the opt. Delver shows us visions. We'll flip. And opponent concedes. A flip Delver will do it. And we were going to be making a 4/4 Angel. And swinging for 10 anyway. Yep. All right. There we go. Got game 1 there. Let's see what we can do sideboard wise. So it's, from what we saw, Teamer Uro. We didn't see any white. So Blood Moon doesn't seem as strong. But I don't dislike it. So we put in those. I don't know how I feel about the gusts. They seem meh. I guess we'll put the gusts back for now. We'll do Archmage Charm, Visions, and Remand. Remand's pretty mediocre. We'll try it like so and see if we need to change anything. So we could keep, but it's 1 land, so we're gonna mulligan. It's 2 lands and it's got 2 creatures. We'll keep it and put back a Charm. I believe Delver's the strictly better creature to lead on. Scalding Tarn. Opponent. Ooh, Sprite Dragon. Here's a card opponent didn't see last time. We'll play out Delver and pass the turn. Because our best shot of flipping Delver is right now, because I believe it's a 50-50 shot. Opponent fetches. So far we're, and this is down tick, I'm assuming. Yep. Down ticks does get rid of our Delver. Makes us a bit sad. We'll go Spirit to incentivize the down tick again and play out land. There goes the down tick. And a Mystic Sanctuary into play tapped from opponent. As much as I would love to use this opt, I'd rather grow our Sprite Dragon. This Sprite Dragon. Opt, grow. ideally. Cool. Scry 1 and draw. Honestly, not a terrible card. This hit 2 at Ren. Sorry, opponent did not get to use Ren to get lands. They could bolt off of this Triome. Ice Fang. Okay. And so they draw a card here and chump block. Sounds good to me. Not really, we're still in trouble here. But we've got a Force of Negation here in case they do anything scary that we can interact with. Can't use Force on an Uro, but so their Ren gets to go up. And Teamer play down Fire Spout. That's a fun card. No. Sure. We will gladly take a Blood Moon here. Knock out their Ren in 6. Damage happens. Second main. Blood Moon. Have Force of Negation, opponent. Gets basic island. Has Spell Pierce. Awkward. Opt. Okay. Might get there if they're opting. Blood Moon resolved. All right. We've got ourselves a 4/4 here. 5 mana. Time Warp. Okay, so it is the Uro turns list. But shutting them completely out of green here, not terrible for us. And Moto crashed. Moto is never happy when it starts back up a game. So it looks like opponent just found a land. Ooh, Bolt's pretty good. Bolt opponent grows our Sprite Dragon. Deals 3 to them. Opponent goes down to 12. This will be 7. And spell off the top here is pretty brutal for him. All right. Looks like Blood Moon's gonna do work against the Teamer deck. Still can't cast this Archmage Charm. Really regretting not pitching it instead of the Serum Visions. But now if they do anything, we just have Force of Negation, unless it's Uro. Uro doesn't save them. And there we go. Sorry about that crash. But hey, we go 2-1. And see you guys in match 4. So match number 4 has been found here. Again, we can't keep this. No lands. So mulligan we go. And we can keep this hand though. Keep bottom, I guess, a land. We're facing Sunkers. They kept 7. Is this Dark Slick Shores? Makes me go Mill or Ad Nauseam. Both of which this hand doesn't do a whole lot against. Thieves Guild. Okay, it's Mill. We mill 2. Mill over Remand Sprite Dragon. Draw ourselves a Remand. Fun. Play out Delver. and second Dark Slick Shores for opponent here, and they have the push. Of course they have the push. That, do they attack for 1? They do. Alright. You get hit for 1 here. And then they surgical Sprite Dragon. Awkward. They hit our threat in hand. So Blood Moon's probably going to be real good. Blood Moon, Flusterstorm, Mystical Dispute, Brazen Bars, Braids. All looking pretty tempting here. So we'll do this pass. There's the basic island. Opponent gets in for 1. Sounds fine. Let's go ahead and fetch here. We're going to get the Ford. Paying costs to draw to? No, thank you. Might be a bait. Now let's see. Archive Trap? Cool, no Archive Trap. However, we don't have a threat. We have Remand and Lightning Bolt. Polluted Delta. Swings for 1. Not gonna ping it off when it's just 1 right now. Instep fetch. Grab ourselves Snow-Covered Island. Keep, we draw a Sinkhole. Okay. A very, very fun one. So we'll have Sinkhole plus Remand. Assuming they hold the, okay, they don't hold the fetch land. I would have expected them to hold here in case they hit a crab. But maybe they're not on the full mill package. Maybe this is just more along the lines of control with a rogue theme. And they just happen to be running Surgical Extraction. Watery Grave tapped. They've got 2 in hand. And we'll go ahead and try to bolt it. This, we draw land, awkward, pass turn. We're both just kind of staring each other down. Tempo deck with no creatures, not good. And a mill deck with no mill isn't good. Okay, so it is more along the lines of rogue. Let's go ahead and remand. Just because I need another draw. Yeah, your Merfolk Windrobber's fine. This. Fetch down to 13, and we'll go ahead and Sinkhole this to... Is this 8? Again, we'll do Snow-Covered here, and then we'll attempt to cast, do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This. Opponent can no longer Windrobber. What, you remanding? A force of negation. Sure. Upkeep, we draw bolt. Bolt visions, and then we see charm and Rainforest. Sure. One on bottom, one on top. Pass turn. We have mana leak for whatever they cast, then we'll draw 2. One didn't cast anything. So we draw 2 on their instep. Because we might need to counter something. I don't think we will. I think we're ahead enough at this point. Try to draw 2. We'll see what opponent's got. Force of negation. It's 4 mana. Could be cryptic. Logic not. Alright, well, we can't pay for it. So they stop us from drawing, but they don't have anything, and now we've got our mana leak still. And Spirit pass turn. There we go. There's a threat. Increase it. This we draw. Oh, force of negation. Sure. Go ahead and increase it. Got ourselves a 4/4 with a force of negation as backup here. When it goes down to 15, and we pass the turn. They play a creature, they play a creature. We can't really stop that. They play a land. And now we're going to be drawing cards. Put 2 counters on it. Swing for 6. When it goes down to 9, we draw a card. Ascendant Spirit. Pretty decent card. Alright, they have a Wind Robber. That's fine by us. We can steal that. Gain control. And opponent says they're done. All right, there we go. So they are only a 2-colored deck, but a good amount of their lands are multicolor. Aether Gust is bad. They are more control-y, so Dispute doesn't seem terrible, and Borrower doesn't seem terrible. It very much seems more on the Rogue plan than it does on Mill. So I like removal here. I don't know if we necessarily want to be bringing in Blood Moon. It makes it so they have to find their basic swamp. Or basic swamps, plural. But I feel we just need to keep a threat-dense hand, and we'll be fine. As far as what we're removing here, probably Shave on Often Vision. Spell Pierce can come out, so they don't have a lot of non-creature spells. And then one more. Guess Force. Yeah, we'll try force here, and let's see how this does. Facing probably blue-black rogues. It interesting hand. So like the snow-covered island and opt is fine, but then we're relying on trying to find more lands to be able to do other things. Else we're just relying on force of negation to be able to hold them at bay. We'll mulligan down to 6. Slightly in less of an awkward spot. Not having to rely wholeheartedly on things. We won't necessarily be on snow game plan here. That's fine. We can lead on tapped Mystic Sanctuary into Scalding Tarn, or into Steam Vents. They get basic island Merfolk Windrober. Robber. We will go tapped Mystic Sanctuary, pass the turn. Watergrave, Shocked in Bitter Blossom? No Bitter Blossom. Okay. Hits for 1. Ninjutsu. So it's ninjas. Well, this is awkward because we don't have a way to stop that. And then they have a 2/3 that's going to draw them a card. This will be Fetch Shock. Red, blue, Abrade. You got to pay 2 mana to draw a card. And they play out the Windrobber. Surprising exactly 0 people. We want land. That is not a land. Not only is that not a land, that is like our worst. Well, yeah, Sprite Dragon here. Opponent fetches. It's a Watery Grave, shocks it in. What are we trying to cast here, opponent? Drown in the Lock? A Logic Knot. Okay. Well. Looks like we're about to get ninjutsu the second time. Blue-black ninjas. Not what I was expecting. So they missed their land drop, so it can only be another one of these infiltrators, I think. Yeah, it's just the infiltrator. They hit us again. And now we are in trouble. Spirit. Visions. We need land. Hey, speaking of cards that we need. Bottom top. Play a land, pass the turn. Paying costs has Thieves Guild, flashes in, we mill 2. Yep. So if we block here, they only draw a card and they don't need the ninjutsu out their other one. And we have force of negation here. If they try anything, they don't. So we take this draw. That's right, we milled over 2. That's right. That card has lines of text on it that are relevant. Spirit. This way we have remand, mystical dispute. We could have remand. It doesn't buy us anything there. So counter magic here, not looking so good. Opponent's a little locked on lands. Blood Moon looks a lot better now. Because even though they're drawing, they don't seem to be hitting land. With a hand full of counter magic. Wind Robber, we could counter that. I don't feel like, well, it would have stopped them from being able to draw. I don't think we're ever winning from this position, however. Because we're basically just having to put out a creature and block once a turn. They have the Soaring of Thought Thief. Let's go ahead and Mystical Dispute that. Is this a rogue, by the way? No, just a ninja. A Vidalcan ninja. So they swing. We still have to just block. Blocking unfavorably here is just going to lead to our loss. Assuming... Okay, they have another ninjutsu. How good for them. We were expecting them to have that the entire time. And then they get to draw 4. Yeah, we're not winning from this point. Land for their turn. They finally hit their 4th land drop on turn 7. So we are looking at blue-black ninjas. We can, at max, block 3. We would have drawn... Okay. So, very much on creature game plan. Blood Moon, that seems fine. Force of Negation seem a lot weaker now. Archmage Charm seems decent enough. I like Braids, I like Bolts. Leaks are meh. Guess we can cut an Optin Visions again. Taking us down to 60. Then we've got removal, we've got Blood Moon. Mystical Dispute's still fine. They've got a good amount of blue and black. Or blue. I would love to play first. Yeah, we keep this. The Mystic Sanctuary is a bit on the awkward side, but we can't really do much about that. Use Spirit, pass turn. Dark Slick Shores. So tapped Sanctuary. Man, we are going to be Not fun. Okay, they have the push. That's unfortunate. That's fine. This draw Delver. Okay. We'll play this out in case we hit our land. Or this way we can get the ford. For our snowland. And hopefully we'll shut them off of black here. Sure, we're doing this at the right point. Get the ford. And step Delver, we see Scalding Tarn. Nope. Delver doesn't flip. We'll play out the Tarn. We'll fetch, get ourselves a snow-covered island. And combat swing for 1. They take 1. Second main. Red, blue, blue. Blood Moon. Drown in the lock. Okay. Bit unfortunate for us, but that's fine. This Mystic Sanctuary can't grab anything, which is unfortunate. And Delver shows us Scalding Tarn. Delver does not flip. And again, Mystic Sanctuary doesn't grab us anything, so this combat 1. Yes, because they can't flash in anything that we can't deal with. Step what? You gonna try to flash in your Thieves Guild Enforcer? I'm gonna mana leak it. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Sure. Not worth a mana leak. That can't grab us anything decent. Deprives theirs pretty good. We'll have Deprive, Mana Leak. Thieves Guild Enforcer. How about no? Dispel. Do this, do Snow-Covered Island. And Deprive. Bouncing a Snow-Covered Island. As Dispel. Okay. So they land their Enforcer. A bit unfortunate for us. They have 1 card remaining in their hand, though. Is that 1 card good enough? It's not the ninjutsu card. Okay. This will put Opt on top. So our issue is we now need to draw an answer, which is why we put the Opt on top, because counter magic is not an answer to a threat. Put that on bottom and draw a card. Okay, that'll work. Ascendant Spirit. We can trade need to find an answer to your Thieves Guild. That is not an answer. So here comes push again. Yep. Well, looks like we're going to be flooding out here. Alright, we go down to 8. It's got 2 cards in hand. Not a land. Not a land. Let's go. Tap for that guy. Go ahead and do that. We'll have ourselves a 2/3. Our 2/3 can easily block their 3/2. And costs have push again. Petty theft. Well, opponents got the answers because now they can fetch and play out borrower, and it's a 2-turn clock. Meaning we needed that lightning bolt that we just milled over. Okay. So we need removal spell. And for them to have nothing. We go down to 2. We will fetch 2 thin. It does not make a difference between 2 or 1. We will go with a snow-covered island because Ascendant Spirit is snow reliant. Okay, well that's not what we need, but we need Ascendant Spirit. Need to make it a 2/3 minimalistically so that way we can trade. Then we want to hold up that and draw blindly into what we need. One time. They had Archmage's Charm. Okay. So our visions, even if it had resolved, would have... Okay. We were still dead. All right. And there we go. 2 and 2. Let's see how we can end here. See you guys in match 5. All right. Match number 5 here has been found. We won the die roll. We will take the play here. And hands got a Delver and a Bolt and a Deprive, and yeah. Hands got lots of stuff. Looks pretty decent. When we began with 7 in hand, we will go Snow-Covered Island into Delver of Secrets and pass the turn. Opponents taking a while to decide if they want to let this Delver resolve. I mean, Force of Negation can't hit your creatures, so what we doing? Neat. Burn. Not so good for us. Goblin Guide. Guide reveals. Misty Rainforest. Okay. It's fine. That'll happen. Delver shows us. Ba-da-ba. Archmage's Charm. Sure, we'll reveal that and we'll draw it. Then we'll go Misty Rainforest and combat hit for 3. Sadly, this cannot grab our mountain. But we will have the Deprive or a Force of Negation here if they try something that we don't like. Goblin Guide number 2. Swift Spear. Okay. Archmage's Charm. Not looking too terrible right now. Opponent swings for 5. Looks like we're going to be drawing Opt. I should have cracked the Misty Rainforest. In between the triggers. That's a misplay. This will go get the Ford. We're down to 10. This Bolt. Swift Spear. Then we'll have Deprive and Force of Negation. When it's down to 11, we'll be down to 8. But then we'll have Archmage's Charm. Searing Blaze. Fetch Snow-Covered Island. And Deprive, bounce out of that Island. Opponent goes for the Lava Spike. How about now? Guide swings, reveals remand. When it's down to 2 cards in hand. We're down to 7. We can steal and begin combat step of the Goblin Guide. Take both players to 7. Opponent plays land, begins combat. Gain control of a Goblin Guide. You bolting me or are you bolting the guide? Drawing a card with a Sunbaked Canyon. And cracking Arid Mesa. Boros Charm. 4 to me. I do go down to 3. Opponent holds. And poor opponent. They were hoping that I didn't have this card. How does it feel to die to your Goblin Guides, Burn? Alright. We hit them for 7. We're facing Burn. So... what do we want? A Braid? Just to deal if they have creatures? A Braid, Shave on Charm, because the odds of us getting the 3 mana are slim. Yeah. They didn't reveal Aluris, so they said it would just be Boros Burn. If they're just Boros Burn, Blood Moon isn't terrible against them. But I don't know if that's what we want to be doing. A lot of our creatures are extremely weak to removal. So I could see Shave. Well, but the problem is Ascendant Spirit has just such a big body. Delver's a fast clock if it's early. Yeah. We'll cut a Remand and bring back in a Charm. We'll try this, see what happens, and adjust accordingly. We've got Bolt, Fawn, and Delver. Looks pretty decent to me. All right. And so they play a Swift Spear here. And then they get in for 1. That's fine. We will... Braid's not terrible there. This is going to be a fetch shock and just bolt. This, that, you, this, pop. Hoping so. Eidolon's real good against us. Looking to be, yeah. Looking to definitely be that Boros burn so we can bring in the Blood Moons for game 3 here. That is exactly what we wanted off the top because now we get to kill their Eidolon. Yes, we take 2, but that's fine. And then we get to play out a Delver. They suspend a Rift Bolt. And then they Lava Spike us. All right. Pretty good for us there. Delver reveals Mystic Sanctuary. I like that card. Sadly, it's going to be entering tapped. Unless this opt sees a... We could opt here, try to see... Yeah, let's opt, see what we see. Ooh, and that's why we do that. This, that, fetch. Get ourselves a snow-covered island and combat get in for 1. We've got Mana Leak if this Rift Bolt targets our Delver. We've got a Braid if they play out a creature. Rift Bolt's targeting our face. We're fine with that. Lava Spike's targeting our face. We're fine with that. This one, however, we're not fine with. We are at 4. Living on the edge. Delver shows us. I'm hoping it shows us a blue spell here. A Force of Negation, sure. We'll reveal that card. That Mystic Sanctuary, put back. Bolt makes it a 3-turn clock. Put back Bolt. We can only counter 1 spell here. So it will be countering the first spell that they cast. Unless they play a land. Okay, so they're trying to overload us here. Is their plan? Problem is it's gonna work. They go down to 7. Skullcrack. Okay. We go down to 1. Does opponent have 2 burn spells? Bolt them. And there we go. That's what we needed. Beat and burn. Going 3-2 with Delver. Oh, there we go. Opponent finally decided to show up. Swing for 3. Opponent dies. There we go. And with that, we go 3-2 with Snow Delver. So, overall, I feel it's a really strong deck. Our losses, one we definitely could have come back from, or one if I had probably played differently. I can't quite remember about the second one. But overall, the deck felt really powerful. The Ascendant Spirits feel pretty good. There's not a lot of creature removal right now, so having a bunch of X1s didn't feel awful. And the counter magic package felt great. It was fun. I definitely think, like, sideboard wise, I'm not the person to really ask. I don't know too much. We didn't bring in a whole lot, but we didn't really face a whole lot of different things. Feels like this deck has real game against those Uro piles, and it's got enough counter magic to deal with the trickery stuff. While we didn't run into trickery, we did run into the Valky, and we beat that because it was control Valky. Other than that, feels fun, feels strong, and you know, if you cut out these Force of Negations and these Misty Rainforests for, say, Flooded Strands, and then these Scalding Tarns, you're looking at a pretty budget list. You know, you cut out these 12 cards, and it's like maybe 200 tickets or something. But these put it well into the 600-700 ticket range. Force of Negation is just ridiculously expensive, but Force of Negation is a very strong card, so it will be something that you'll be missing out on. I definitely recommend picking them up once you have the rest of it. But the rest of the core, honestly, feels pretty strong. And so, doesn't have to be super into what it is. It's just this is the optimal stuff in terms of fetch lands. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. I know I had fun, and I will see you all next video. Peace out, everybody.